It's one. It's one. A lot more to come. Shout out our fans. Absolutely incredible. Thank you guys for showing up, showing love to all my teammates. We appreciate you. More to come.
The Chicago Sky just learned a tough lesson. Don't keep Caitlyn Clark away from basketball for 7 months. After her longest break from organized play, Clark returned with a vengeance, delivering a historic triple-double never before seen in a WNBA season opener. She powered the Fever to a dominant 35-point win.
They're going to make this rivalry come back, this manufactured rivalry, which, by the way, you guys, the Indiana Fever beat the Sky by nearly 40 points. They won 93-58.
The Sky had no answers. Caitlyn Clark's brilliance, Aaliyah Boston's dominance in the paint, and the Fever's relentless defense completely overwhelmed them. Chicago shot a miserable 29% from the field, and while Angel Reese did pull down 17 rebounds, her overall performance, and her team's, was a disaster from start to finish. This wasn't just a win for Indiana. It was a statement. The Fever have arrived as true contenders. We're breaking down exactly how Caitlyn Clark and Indiana put Angel Reese and the Sky in their place on opening night. If you're riding with the Fever, drop baby goat over baby giraffe in the comments. Let's go.
Regular season is here, and we have no more time for flirting, folks. We have no more time. It's time to get serious about our business. And Caitlyn Clark handled her business game 1. 20, 10, and 10. 20, 10, and 10. Caitlyn Clark and the Indiana Fever, what did the kids say? Belt to ass? Oh yeah. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Indiana Fever destroy, obliterate, run out of the gym the Chicago Sky. 93-58.
7 months. That's how long Caitlyn Clark had to wait. 7 months since her last professional basketball game. 7 months of listening to critics wonder if she could level up in her second year after a phenomenal rookie campaign. 7 months of Angel Reese running her mouth to anyone who'd listen.
Does it feel like it's been an eternity since you played a game that counted, or does it feel now that it's gone by fast?
It feels like it's gone by fast, yeah. Which I didn't know going into the offseason of how exactly it would feel. I feel like just yesterday it was January and I was itching for like this first game. I was like thinking about this moment, and I mean, you think it will take a long time to get there, but it doesn't. If you just, stay consistent in what you do and follow your routines and, you stay busy, it comes pretty fast. But yeah, it didn't feel slow. I feel like this moment has raced up on us.
Just think about what that wait must have felt like for someone who's played basketball her whole life. The offseason dragged on, and the questions kept piling up. Could Clark handle the physicality? Would she reduce her turnovers? And most importantly, could she elevate the Fever into true contenders?
I'm excited to play, excited to get out there and play. I think it's different when it's the first one of the season. Like, you just are really amped up to get out there. A little anxiousness, but nothing I haven't experienced before. I think more than anything, just excited. I think once you eventually get in the building and you get here and you get in your routine of preparing for the game, you're pretty locked in. And honestly, I'm ready to go play right now. Forget warm-ups.
The preseason only ramped up the pressure. Clark flashed moments of brilliance, but also battled leg issues that kept her sidelined at times. Critics were circling, ready to jump the moment she slipped in her regular season debut, and waiting for her in that first game? None other than Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. But let's be honest, only Reese and the media are pushing this as a rivalry. Clark has no rival.
Rivalry is great for sport. Like, I understand that. I grew up loving rivalries. Like, I grew up in Iowa State. That's like a pro matchup in the state of Iowa. Like, I understand that. Or whether it was my high school team, like, I still hate our rival high school, Valley High School. Sorry, I'm sure there's a lot of people from Valley High School that love me and support me now. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys, but I wasn't your biggest fan. I didn't like the Tigers growing up. So my parents, my grandfather was the football coach growing up, and Valley was our biggest rival. It was the biggest class in Iowa. And I was taught to, growing up, if we were driving by the high school, to hold my breath because I couldn't breathe that air.
From the opening minutes, you could tell something was different about Clark. The hesitation that sometimes crept in during her rookie season was gone. No more second-guessing, no more overthinking. She played with a freedom we hadn't seen since her Iowa days, like she was back in college, dominating everything in sight. Her first three-pointer, clean, pure, and confident. Then came the no-look passes that froze defenders, the rebounds she ripped away from taller players, and the defensive stops no one expected. This wasn't just Caitlyn Clark playing well. This was Caitlyn Clark making a statement. By halftime, the Fever were up by 19 points, and Clark was already flirting with history: 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. What began as a hyped matchup quickly turned into a statement performance, silencing every doubt about Clark's ability to thrive at the pro level. The second half wasn't about whether the Fever would win. That was a foregone conclusion. It was about history. Could Clark maintain this all-around dominance? The answer came in the fourth quarter when she grabbed her 10th rebound, locking in a triple-double with 20 points and 10 assists already on the board. No one in WNBA history had ever notched a triple-double in a season opener. Not Diana Taurasi, not Candace Parker, not Sue Bird. Caitlyn Clark did what none of them could, and she did it in the very first game of her second season. As she ran the offense with laser-sharp passing and clutch scoring, the message was clear. The 7-month wait didn't slow her down. It fueled her fire. She wasn't just back. She was better. And for Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, that was a nightmare they weren't ready for.
More than anything, like as a player, you approach the game the same every single time, or you should. That's how you should approach every single game. You prepare the same way. You come ready to play, whether it's the team that's last in the league or the team that's first in the league. It doesn't matter. I think for the fans, it's great. They love it. And I mean, Chicago is the closest team to us. You know, we bus there usually, so I get it geographically. But I think for our team and our group, it's, you know, we prepare the same way every single game. But I expect today to be an awesome game.
Here's where everyone got it wrong. While most expected Caitlyn Clark to put on an offensive show, no one predicted the Fever would turn into a defensive powerhouse overnight. Chicago's players came in expecting a shootout. Instead, they walked straight into a nightmare.
All right, y'all. Hey, good stuff. Okay, we did a lot of really good things. I thought our defense was really good. And when we had lapses, we played through possessions. All right, so we made things happen. Y'all, overall, just hell of an effort.
From the opening tip, the Fever swarmed the Sky like they had 6 defenders on the floor. Every shot was contested, every passing lane jammed, every drive met with a wall of defenders. Chicago couldn't find a rhythm, couldn't find space. They looked completely lost out there.
4 quarters, under 20, holding the team under 20. Yeah, Fever girl! Yeah, Fever girl! Yeah! Barely! Steph said it. We were relentless. We played through possessions, but that physicality and that relentlessness, possession after possession, wears on a team. And then that was the entire game. They were feeling us every cut. We were talking, we were communicating, we were flying around, deflection.
At the heart of this defensive masterpiece was Aaliyah Boston. She owned the paint, racking up 5 blocks to tie her career high. What she did to her former South Carolina teammate, Camila Cardoso, was almost cruel. The 6 feet 7 inches Sky center looked completely overwhelmed, unable to gain any ground against Boston's flawless positioning and timing. But Boston didn't just defend, she intimidated, altering shots that won't even show up on the stat sheet. The numbers revealed just how bad Chicago's offense fell apart. They shot a miserable 29.1% from the field, and their three-point shooting was even worse at just 22.2%. Open looks were rare, and even when they came, the Sky couldn't capitalize, rattled by the moment. Then there was Lexi Hull, the fan favorite known for her grit and hustle. Off the bench, she turned into a defensive force, scoring 9 points, grabbing 9 boards, and making hustle plays that electrified the crowd. She dove for loose balls, battled through screens, and disrupted Chicago's rhythm with relentless energy. The arena roared her name, and she earned every bit of it.
In transition. Clark, oh, what a look! And Hull lays it in.
Why couldn't the Sky hit shots, even with Reese grabbing rebounds? It was the Fever's coordinated defense that forced Chicago into tough, contested attempts all night. Boston and Clark combined for 9 blocks, but the Fever's defense wasn't just about individual effort. They communicated, rotated, and helped each other flawlessly. By the fourth quarter, Chicago looked completely broken down. They turned the ball over 17 times, many unforced, crushed by the constant pressure. They couldn't even run simple offensive plays against Indiana's relentless defense. What started as a game quickly became a statement. The Indiana Fever weren't just Caitlyn Clark with a supporting cast. They were a full team ready to suffocate anyone on defense.
Going to be the biggest news for the next 3 months. So let's talk about Caitlyn Clark's hard foul on Angel Reese.
Let's talk about what went down with just under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. That's when the tension between Clark and Reese, which had been simmering all game, finally boiled over. It's a moment you're going to see replayed over and over throughout the season.
Essentially, Angel Reese gets the ball, Caitlyn Clark goes over, does a hard foul, commits a hard foul on Angel Reese. She falls to the ground. After that, Angel Reese gets up. She's feeling super spicy. She's charging at Caitlyn Clark. Caitlyn Clark is walking away. Aaliyah Boston steps in and kind of stops Angel Reese. Courtney Vandersloot also steps in.
Clark went for what she later described as a simple take foul, just trying to stop Angel Reese's easy layup. Nothing wild, just a routine basketball move to prevent an easy 2 points. But the officials saw it differently. They checked the monitor, reviewed the play, and upgraded it to a flagrant foul. That call immediately ignited controversy, sparking debates among fans, commentators, and even players on the court.
When you really watch the replay, something feels off. Angel came charging in like she wanted smoke, like she was ready to throw down. But here's the thing. If she really wanted to confront Caitlyn, what was stopping her? Nothing. That reaction, the body language, it felt forced. Like she was putting on a performance. Fake tough, fake angry.
The cameras captured every intense moment that followed. Reese immediately turned toward Clark, but her teammates quickly stepped in to separate them as heated words were exchanged. Then Aaliyah Boston rushed to Clark's side, jumping right into the middle of the confrontation. What stood out most was Clark simply walking away to calm things down, while Reese kept talking. The officials handed technical fouls to both Reese and Boston for their roles in the altercation.
And let's be honest, from that moment on, Angel Reese disappeared. Her impact on the game, gone. Caitlyn, she was in her zone. It's like Clark didn't just eat the foul. She took over the moment, mentally and physically. So now the big question is, was that fire from Reese real or just for show?
Here's where it gets really interesting. The Fever didn't just back Clark up with words, they responded on the scoreboard. Right after that flagrant foul call, Indiana went on a powerful 12-2 run that completely blew the game open. It was like that confrontation flipped a switch, and the Fever turned up their intensity even more.
Nasty. Back-to-back quarters with 13 points. Couldn't even get a quarter over 18 points. Oh, Chicago Sky, I had you overrated. Oh, how I overestimated what I would see from the Chicago Sky. The Indiana Fever took care of business today.
But amid all the drama between Clark and Reese, something truly historic happened that didn't get nearly enough attention. Dana Bonner sank 2 free throws that moved her into 3rd place on the WNBA's all-time scoring list. While everyone was caught up in the rivalry, a genuine legend was quietly making history right before our eyes.
And the second free throw to Passer. And Diana Bonner sits alone in 3rd place.
The contrast couldn't be clearer. While social media blew up with clips of the Clark-Reese rivalry, the Fever quietly celebrated Dana Bonner's incredible milestone as a team. The way they rallied around her showed their growing chemistry and deep respect for the game's history. That right there tells you everything about the difference between Clark and Reese. One player tried to make it personal, while the other focused on the team and made history in the process.
We wanted to open out the season, start off the season, letting everybody know this is a new team, and we have one goal. Did we play our best game today? I would say we didn't. The fact that we didn't play our best game and we still destroyed the Chicago Sky, gotta feel good about that. No Sophie Cunningham in the lineup. Arguably the first person coming off the bench for us, not arguably, most likely the first person coming off the bench for us, no Sophie Cunningham, and we destroyed the Chicago Sky.
When that final buzzer sounded and the scoreboard showed a 35-point blowout, social media absolutely exploded. Fans couldn't believe what they had just witnessed. The Fever didn't just win, they demolished the Sky in every way possible. Twitter flooded with clips of Clark's impossible no-look passes and Boston's blocks that sent Sky players' shots soaring into the third row. The contrast was striking. Fever fans were celebrating a historic night, while Sky supporters, who expected Angel Reese to make a statement, sat in stunned silence. What was hyped as a rivalry turned into a one-sided beatdown nobody saw coming.
Let's look at these box scores really quick. So Aaliyah Boston, 19 points, 13 rebounds. DB, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. So Diana Bonner also just moved up to number 3 on the WNBA's all-time leading scorers list. And that was actually probably my favorite part of the entire game. Like, that was such a cool moment. She stayed in a little bit later in the fourth quarter when they didn't need her anymore. They were up 30 points, but I was so happy that she got that moment. She hit 2 clutch free throws. Now she is number 3. That's such a huge accomplishment, and I'm glad that DB is getting her flowers. Natasha Howard, 15 points, 5 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell, 15 points. Caitlyn Clark recorded a triple-double, 20 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds.
Clark's post-game press conference showed exactly why fans love her. No trash talk, no feeding into the rivalry drama others try to hype. Instead, she focused on what really mattered. "I thought we were disruptive," she said, highlighting the team's defensive improvements. She also made sure to praise Diana Bonner's historic achievement of moving into third place on the WNBA's all-time scoring list, calling her the strongest voice in our locker room.
We were disruptive. I thought we came with a level of physicality. Anytime you can keep a team in this league to under 20 points in quarters, that's important. They didn't get a lot of clean catch-and looks. Look, it wasn't perfect, but we played through our deficiencies. We played through our lapses in coverage. We played through mismatches, and we played with multiple levels of effort, and that's what it takes.
Inside the Fever locker room, cameras caught the pure joy that had been building for 7 months. Veterans embraced the rookies, and Coach White delivered an emotional speech about setting a new standard for the team. This wasn't just happiness from winning a game. It was a team realizing they could be something truly special.
DB, congratulations. CC triple double. AB double double. Let's see for near a double double now.
Meanwhile, Chicago's post-game scene couldn't have been more different. Angel Reese kept her comments about the flagrant foul short and to the point. Basketball play. Refs got it right, let's move on. Her teammates looked shell-shocked by the blowout loss, struggling to explain how a supposed statement game turned into such a disaster. Clark herself seemed to understand Chicago was still figuring things out. "I think we're still finding our chemistry together," she admitted. "But we just have so many weapons, and that's what's so fun." That statement might actually terrify the rest of the league. The Fever won by 35 points while still building their chemistry.
What does a game like this say to the rest of the league? How does it set up for the season?
Yeah, I think we're just focused on ourselves. You prepare every single night. I think that's the great thing about this league. And also, you play and then you have a day and then you play again, and then you have a day and you play again. You have to be able to flush things really fast. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. You just got to stay right in the middle. So that's going to be the challenge for our group. Build from it, appreciate how we came out here and really played and competed tonight. But also, I felt like, I know we put up 93 points and still won by 30, but I felt like there was a lot of ways for us to still improve. And that's what's exciting too. And I think everybody's still hungry to go back to work and get better.
This wasn't a team just hoping to improve anymore. This was a team that now expected to win. The Indiana Fever weren't just back. They had arrived as legitimate contenders. And Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky? They were just the first victims in what could be a special season for Indiana. The Fever didn't just win a game, they announced their arrival to the entire WNBA. A historic 35-point victory featuring Clark's never-before-seen triple-double in a season opener, Boston's shot-blocking clinic, and a defense that made Chicago look completely lost. Angel Reese and the Sky walked away with nothing but questions and a brutal defeat. All those trash-talking comments now feel hollow after being thoroughly outplayed in every aspect of the game. The 7-month wait is officially over. The Indiana Fever are back, and they're better than ever. This wasn't just an opening night win. This was the first chapter of what looks like the most exciting season in Fever history. If you're rocking with the Fever, comment "baby goat" over "baby giraffe" down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.